Hey guys, it's Erica Galinas with App Properties Real Estate here for our weekly market update. This week we are going to be talking about Dyer, Indiana. Kind of been keeping up on these different towns. We're waiting for this big crash. We're going to see what the Dyer numbers show. It doesn't look that dire. Sorry. So for current month, these are our sales totals for month ending October 31st, 2022. Total units sold, 33 units for a total volume of about 11.2 million. That gives us an average sales price of about $252,000. Average days on market, which is, when it's listed till when it has a buyer, about 25 days, which in a traditional market is a fine number, actually really good. Less than a month is usually pretty good numbers in terms of pricing and market activity based on what it was a year ago, 8 months ago, when it was like 3 days. This seems like a tremendous difference, but honestly, 25 days is actually still pretty good. Of those 14 condos and townhouses, there's a little bit of new construction-y ones in there, but these are the older townhomes, mostly duplex kind of stuff that you have in Dyer, which means there's 19 single-family homes. Only one of them that closed is new construction. Again, there's never been a whole lot of new construction in Dyer. There's some in that like Hanover area and South Dyer, but still just regular existing homes make up almost all of them, 32 of them. So compared to September last month, and we're going to be seeing in all of these towns all across the nation, kind of a slowdown. Christmas, nobody wants to buy a house, everybody's broke, it's cold outside, that kind of thing. So in September 2022 in Dyer, again, 33 units of real estate sold for a total volume of 11.9 million, which means that the average price was $363,000 thereabouts. So about, $23,000 drop between September and October. Seems like a lot, not necessarily a lot. And I have the August numbers here so we can kind of see, are we going down? Is it... Spoiler, no, we look good. Average days on market, 24 days. So same as October, 25 days in October, 24 in September, basically the same thing. Average sales to list price in October, so this is what you list it for versus what you close for, is 98.13% in October versus 97.88%. So very marginal difference there. Houses are not now going at 100% or just over 100%. We're only going at 97 and 98%, which is damn good. Active listings. So, there's a little bit of story here. So active listings in Dyer right now, and these are all kinds of listings. There's 50 active listings in Dyer. The average listing price on those is $393,000, which is $30,000 more than the average sales price in September and $53,000 more the average sales price in October. Days on market, 61 days. So the ones that are active right now, on average, have been on the market for 61 days versus 25 days for closings in September and October. What that means is, obviously there's a lot of little details, but in general, what that means is that those houses are overpriced. So Dyer, we all know Dyer has Briar Ridge. There's some other areas, some very nice, executive mansion-y kind of homes. I pulled those out of these statistics because they do skew the data. And in Dyer, they skew it quite a bit. So right now, there are $7 million plus homes listed in Dyer. The average days on market for $1 million home is 221 days. So, tons and tons of months, almost a year on the market for these higher end homes. Even the market updates I've been doing over the past couple years as we had this big real estate boom, these $1 million homes have always sat longer for, obvious reasons. They're, super expensive and they have kind of a limited buyer pool to choose from. We're also competing with, like Naperville and places in the Chicago suburbs that are, equal distant far away, but Dyer has less amenities and less access to different kinds of things than a Naperville or something like that. So they do tend to stick around longer. One interesting one that I just want to talk about because it's fun. There is a house, it's new construction, hasn't been built yet. It looks gorgeous. It's $6.9 million. It's just over 16,000 square feet in Briar Ridge, obviously. Where else would they build that? I did, just for fun, just some math because we talk about interest rates and down payments and stuff. Were you to buy this house just on a regular loan, 20% down, about $1.3 million. So you do the right thing, you put your 20% down, your mortgage payment on $6.9 million will be about $35,000 a month. So we'll keep an eye on that one and see how long it takes for it to get built and sold. But it's if you happen to run across it, it looks really, really beautiful, but we don't have any true pictures because it's new construction. Anyway, other new construction under active listings, there's 9 new construction, again, not including this super ultra 16,000 square foot mansion. So 41 existing homes, 11 condos and townhouses. They're still selling some of that duplex property, like I said, in that South Dyer, Hanover Township area. The rest are all single family homes, built, back in I think one's 1936 and then on through, 2017 or 18 or wherever the cutoff we're doing for new construction. Pending listings. So this is where we're going to see, obviously we know it closed, we know how long it's been on the market, we know, the sale to list price, like all those numbers. Active listings, we know that they exist, we can get the averages, but we don't really know what they're going to sell for. And their average days on market being, 61 days. Seems like they're probably not going to sell as close to that average $393,000, but we'll see. Pending homes, we are in between. We won't have final close price, although we can assume based on these numbers, 97 and 98%. 33 pending homes, average price $319,000, which is significantly lower than the $340,000, the $363,000 we saw in September. Not necessarily indicative of a big market crash or anything like that, at least not so far. Of those, only 2 new construction, 31 existing homes, 9 condos, which are usually a little cheaper. A lot of those, in Munster, we talked about last week, a lot of those are moving pretty quickly because they are, quote unquote, reasonably priced. 24 single family homes, again, ranging from the one in 1936, that's a nice little house, to, whatever non-mansion one that's on this list. Average days on market, 28 days. So not substantially longer than what we saw in September and October. Certainly much less than we're seeing for these active listings. And the big difference to point to, as I said, is the average prices on these. So average price, $319,000 for pendings. Clearly cheaper, probably going to go faster. $340,000, $363,000 versus this $393,000. I will say one of the things about the active listings that may be making a difference is that 9 of the, how many do we have? 50 are new construction homes. And those are definitely on the higher end, which often they are because new construction, they still have to build them and they'll sell like a lot and build on it instead of the model they have listed. But we may be seeing, and I know we've been seeing it in St. John and some other areas, this builder pricing is starting to slide from where it was. If you were looking at homes, in Dyer or anywhere else around here last summer, everything was through the roof and, there's no labor and there's no lumber. And we've talked about some of those issues. I don't know that those issues are solved. I certainly know that they're better than they were a year or 2 years ago, but the builder pricing is coming down. New construction is a special kind of home, but it can often be a bellwether for the rest of the market. The builders are the most price sensitive. They don't have any emotional connection to these houses. They didn't raise their kids there or anything. They have, investment dollars going into them. A lot of times they have loans contingent upon being paid back by selling these houses that they're building, materials, all kinds of things. So they are usually on the forefront of pricing. So when we start to see these builder prices drop, a little bit at a time, they always do a little bit, like sometimes $10, but they do a little bit at a time. But over the course of the next 6 months or something like that, we're probably, I'm assuming, going to see some pretty significant drops overall in the prices of the new construction. So something comparable in, Gates of St. John, that was $500,000 is now going to be, $400,000 or something like that, because the builders need to get those properties moving. So we'll keep an eye on Dyer. These 9, are they going to sell? Are they going to drop? One thing that I've been talking about on this channel over the past several months is the market crash and, the interest rates, and all of that is bad. And we are absolutely seeing an impact on pricing. I will say this, don't necessarily, not yet, worry about the alarmist information you're getting in the national news media, wherever the hell you get it from, it doesn't matter. But in Dyer, for example, I pulled the August numbers. So that's still a good summer market. The things that close in August usually go under contract in June, July, close in August, kids start school, hooray. August, 34 total houses sold for $12.1 million in total volume. 24 days on market, average sales price, $357,000. So almost exactly the same amount of houses sold, almost exactly the same days on market. And the price in August was actually a little lower than the price in September. October is a little lower, but closer to August. So in Dyer, we have not yet seen this catastrophic real estate problem that everybody says we're going to see. Maybe we will. We're starting to see interest rates they're still high on the high end, but they're starting to regulate a little bit, so they're not making these big moves up and down. I've talked to some lender friends. They don't anticipate the kind of, scary interest rates we were talking about, at the beginning of the summer, in the middle of the summer. So things seem to be regulating there, which is actually really good news. And so far in Dyer, none of it seems to be a problem. Like I said, we're going to keep an eye on these active listings. 61 days on the market, and I have clients that I have this conversation with. If you have a client, a seller who's been on the market 61 days and it doesn't match the comps and there's nothing, catastrophically wrong with something else, they need to drop prices. So we'll keep an eye on this and see if these sellers are starting to get some of these houses moving. If that average days on market for active listings go down, then we know that they're pricing more in line with the current market. So that's our Dyer market update. Thank you for joining me. I certainly do these once a week along with buyer and seller tip videos. So please subscribe to this channel. If you want notifications, go ahead and ring that YouTube bell. You can also check me out if you have any questions, even if you live in Dyer, you're thinking of moving to Dyer or anywhere in the Northwest Indiana. Please call or text me anytime, 219-765-2062. If it's easier for you, you can always email me at hsbyerica@gmail.com. That stands for Home Sales by Erica. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Thanks.